What is the core grid? I mean, the word grid doesn't resonate with me, but
we know it's
attractive.
The reason that we use the word grid is because we are wanting to find a way of amplifying for you your understanding that you do have a point of attraction. But most people don't want to think about their point of attraction until it's fleshed in with the details that they want. The details that they want to see and hear and smell and taste and touch. So we were attempting to help you feel a framework of something that is going to fill in. So you're standing in this framework that will fill in to the degree that you allow it based upon the vibration that you choose. That's the whole point of it. Now we're speaking more of these spinning grid discs. In other words, the vortex is the vibrational version that has not yet been realized in material terms by you, hasn't manifested or actualized. But the grid is what you are allowing to materialize. It's your point of attraction.
What is the core grid? Do we come in with a grid?
Yeah, one of well-being and eagerness and understanding of expansion. You come with, the core grid is a triad of freedom, growth, and joy. And so free you can choose bondage. Growth never ending because the expansion is inevitable, and joy is the piece that we are wanting to amplify, because when you care about that, then that is your core grid: freedom, growth, and joy, and a complete understanding and expectation of it.
Can we betray that grid?
Do it all the time. You do it all the time. We say freedom, growth, and joy, and our physical friends say, yes, growth, growth, growth. We say, yeah, but joy. Oh, yeah, but growth, growth, growth. In other words, anytime you're feeling negative emotion, you're betraying that grid. How about that?
Okay.
Anytime you feel any negative emotion, you're not in sync with who you really are and what you intended when you got here. But you see, the core grid isn't something that you came with only. It's something that you came with and has been expanding through what you've been living. So we want to talk about this core vortex even more than we do the core grid at first. We want you to understand this evolving, expanding, evolving vortex, the evolution of all things in that vortex. But then you got to understand, in order to do step 3, you got to understand that you have to now establish deliberately a relationship with that core vortex. And that's why we're talking about your point of attraction. You see, the only reason that you can even ever feel negative emotion is because you have the potential of 2 vantage points: who you really are and what you really know, and who you're letting yourself be right here and now. And so you might say, we like the terminology that you're presenting here. You might say, in fact, we would like to say, in fact, we're going to say, eventually, that awareness of what you're doing with your grid in relationship to your vortex, your awareness of the emotions that you are feeling, is everything that matters. You want to know what you're doing with your, now let's call it core grid, in relationship with that expanded part of you. It's the only thing that matters.
In my life, I've experienced a lot of betrayal, usually in work. I don't think I am where I'm supposed to be, but...
We're going to interrupt, and we are going to contradict you.
Oh.
Well, we won't contradict you. We're just going to clarify.
Okay.
Betrayal in the way that humans mean it doesn't exist, because it's just people hopping on the disc that you've provided.
Exactly. I know that
so they're not betraying you, they're honoring your vibrational frequency.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I was about to say that I realized that the external representation of betrayal was just a representation of internal betrayal.
But we don't.
What am I betraying?
But we don't want to use the word internal betrayal. We would call it internal processing. We would call it internal discovery. When a child is learning to walk and he falls down, you don't say, "You've betrayed your ability to walk." Get up, you little dummy. You give him the opportunity to find his balance, and so if negative emotion, you don't want to describe negative emotion as a betrayal of positive emotion. That's dramatic, don't you think? Yeah. You just want to say, I practiced a vibration and it's not serving me very well, and I didn't notice how not well it was serving me until it got rather exaggerated. And once it got more exaggerated, then I realized that I could have been choosing differently, and now I want to, but I can't. And that's what makes you want to call it big words like betrayal, because you want to, but you can't, because momentum's got you here. But you can sleep more, nap more, meditate more, do more things that allow that cork to float. And soon that self-imposed betrayal will lift from you.
Okay.